a couple of the little exercises in this doc, which come straight from ChatGPT. So what I did first was I asked ChatGPT to give me some prompts. Like, what would you do if you were hosting a therapeutic poetry workshop and you wanted to give someone a 3-minute prompt? So very quickly, ChatGPT gave me these 10 options for 3-minute writing prompts for a therapeutic poetry workshop. So let's do one of those. I'm going to put the timer on for 3 minutes, and you can choose whichever one you like and just explore that for a couple of minutes. And then I have some other fun little things for us to do. 3 minutes, do a ChatGPT generated writing prompt.
Do we just do 3 minutes on that subject?
Yes. So 3 minutes is the time, and you can choose whichever one of those 10. If you look at the Google Doc, there's 10 options.
Oh, okay.
Generated by the magical little bot. Yeah.
I see it. Thank you.
No problem. Ooh, 3 minutes goes by fast. Okay. Hopefully that was intriguing to you. Though I have to say, I think I can come up with slightly more unique prompts than the Chat GPT did. So I feel very good about that. So I then went ahead and thought, okay, so the Chat GPT can give me ideas for poems, but what happens when I ask the chat to write me a poem? So I asked it to respond to one of the prompts, and I said, write a unique poem about a moment in nature that left a lasting impression on you. One of the ideas that the chat offered me. This is on the second page of that doc if you do want to take a look. And you can see that I think any of you would probably agree. Here's that doc again for anyone who just got back in. This poem is not good to me. I'm not I won't read it out loud because I just want to get us to have the chance to write, but take a look at it. And I'm going to let you have 3 minutes to see if you can find something within this, almost like be the AI's editor. If you read a poem like this from a student or something, what would you pull out that's actually unique or is something that's good? Maybe you can do it kind of blackout style or just edit whatever you want. Spend 3 minutes with it and see if you can pull something out of it that you think is worthwhile or interesting. Expand on it. Do whatever you want with it. 3 minutes for that. Okay, that was 3 minutes. I feel like you guys are so inspired by this and having a lot of fun with it. Also, in the second reading of the AI poem, I have to say I hated it so much. I hated it even more the second time through, but I did pull a haiku from it. Linda mentioned the haiku are decent, which is funny because the other thing that I asked the chat GPT to do was because I was like, oh my gosh, this poem that you wrote was so cliche. Let's try a haiku. So I said, write me a surprising haiku about winter. And what it said was, I'm going to put it in the chat too. I'm sorry to laugh so much. I feel like I'm like making fun of it and being a bully, but snowflakes dance, spin, silent blanket covers earth, winter's art display, which I do think is a little better. But I will say the chat GPT usually goes so fast when it's thinking, and it took like 30 seconds to come up with this. Like it was a really long time. Okay. So now we still have a good amount of time, 13 minutes. So I have 3 other kind of questions that I wanted to ask you to, you know, just contemplate if you want, and you can just choose one, or you can think through them all, whatever you want in this regard. I think it's nice to take this time to actually ask ourselves questions that we don't really make time for in our daily life. So I'm curious, what is your opinion on this? Like, especially if you haven't really taken the time to think about it or don't have an opinion yet. What are positive potential uses for humanity for a technology like this? And then the final question, can artificial intelligence become a great poet? Why? Why not? Those are the questions I'm going to be mulling over. You might want to write a poem about this. You might want to just choose one. There's no rules here. Let's do a good, like we only have like maybe 8 minutes. Yeah. Is that right? No, seven only. 7 minutes on this, and then there'll be 5 minutes to share at the end. Okay, time is up. Ooh, I can feel that you are also into this. The chat is just funny. The chat GPT has inspired our chat to get a lot more active than usual. The takes are fascinating. I love it. I love it. I love it. So for anyone who's new and doesn't remember, this last 5 minutes is all about just sharing. Obviously, this is a conceptual one where there's almost like a debate that could happen. So feel free to raise your hand if you want to share something you wrote, or if you just want to share an opinion about this. Keep it nice and civil. I think there's going to be different opinions, so don't like fight or anything, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Who's interested in sharing?
Hi, this is Jolene Thomas. Yesterday I was listening to a podcast and Lou Reed's wife was talking about his work. And she mentioned this exact technology, and that she had put a lot of his work into a system like this to kind of self-create work he might have comprised, although he's no longer living. And the interviewer asked, how close do you think it got to your husband? And she said it was pretty accurate. So I thought that was interesting. Obviously, as a wife, she would know some of the nuances. But what I took away from it is, if somebody has a real nuanced style or a way that they write, like a Hemingway or something, that feeding all of their work into an engine like this would be kind of blasphemous in a way, because true art comes from the authentic person. But also just kind of interesting that something that's gone might not necessarily, the freshness of them might not necessarily have to be gone forever.
I think everyone probably agrees with what you're saying, and I think that's so fascinating. I like to engage with it, but I fear a world where we forget that and think that it feels like a lowest common denominator, like a smoothie effect, where you just take everything and just blend it, and then there's no texture left. Technically all the nutrients are there, but like you didn't even chew it.
Yeah.
Kat, what about you? You're still muted. Hold on.
Okay, so I wrote a poem about artificial intelligence.
Great.
Artificial intelligence, AI, AIEOU. Can you remind me of my vowels, my nouns? I forgot. System breakdown. Artificial, what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, well, you do it. Hello? Are you out there? Call Siri and tell her to turn on the TV for me. Channel 2. I think that's where I left off.
Oh my gosh, that is so uncanny, disconcerting, dystopian. I love it. I love it. I love it. So good. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Also, I just have to say, Craig, your reactions are so animated and so fun. Like your videos on, you're just like, yes, I love it. Did you want to share anything? Anyone else?
I just want to say I'm grateful. I don't know how I end up here. I usually only go to meetup things or something. But is this like a weekly or monthly thing or something?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you'd been here before. Yeah, we meet every single week, same time. It's the same Zoom link. So yeah, come back again and join us.
Hopefully
James, how
it'll
about
end
you?
up in my calendar again. I don't know how it got there, but this is cool.
I think SocietyX like advertises on Eventbrite. So if you ever go on Eventbrite, it might have popped in your feed.
Oh, okay. I was able to launch from my calendar. So I'm like, well, I don't know where it came from, but it's working straight through. Sometimes like, okay, that tells me where to go to get there. But I'm just new at technology, new at everything, just curious.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. James and then Finley.
I just wanted to share quickly. I host a monthly open mic in town, and last night, and one of the regulars was a professor here in English at the University of Illinois, and he took Wallace Stevens' 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird and put it in this, and read the chat AI version of it, and parts of it were hilarious, and parts were just what you'd expect. So that's all I have.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing. I might steal that idea and use this as a interactive thing at an open mic. Finley, how about you? What's your take?
I think the genie will not go back in the bottle, and we're just going to have to learn to live with it. But I don't think it will be the same sort of creativity as humans have.
Mm.
Who am I to say?
I loved what someone put in the chat, and we'll wrap this in a second, unless anyone else has any last words they want to share. But someone said that they really don't like it because it doesn't have any feelings, that it's quite creepy to call it intelligence. Was that you, Poppy, that said that? Or you just agree? Maybe that's but I think that's a great point that I hadn't considered, that I believe that intelligence must include feelings. So that makes me almost want to redefine the whole thing. Great conversation today. Someone was asking if I could reshare the quotes and prompts in the chat. So I'll do that real quick before we wrap. And the chats are the prompts and stuff are a little out of order because I changed the order when I decided to do it. So sorry about that. There's the quotes and the things that we talked about today. And my personal opinion that I have on this was that I don't think that we have to worry as poets about competing with it, because I think the beauty of poetry is our unique experience. And that's the one thing that's the opposite of what this AI has. It's the universal experience, and we have our own very personal experience. So very, very grateful that you share this time with me each week. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, or whenever you happen to find us on the internet again in the future. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.